Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Now, we're at our finishing point, you guys. This is the week where we are finally finishing the updated deck profiles for all 5 nations. And then next week, we're going to be doing the nostalgic deck profile featuring Gurgant Overlord and Phantom Blaster Dragon. So in this video, we're going to be doing Tohya's Bastion deck. Now, due to the new stuff, we actually upgraded to the next extend. So, you know, See, I will say this, guys. I know that it's my uncle's out there right now yelling at the TV just because it's an opera or soap, whatever it is. But so if you hear that, I'm sorry about that. But I did upgrade this to a certain extent. Now I think the grade 3, most of its grade 3 is a little bit much, but that's what it's relied on. Also, I found out some good news, or some news, that every single main trial deck boss is going to get like some sort of a form of a cross ride. So that's pretty cool, you know? I'm looking forward to it. But I'm not going to talk much in this video. I'm actually going to try to get straight to the point to the best of my ability. So, with that being said, you guys, let's finish up the Keter Sanctuary's deck profiles for this week, and let's just hop right into the videos next week. So, this is Tohya's Bastion deck. Hope you guys enjoy, and let's get on with the performance. So as always, the ride deck isn't essential due to the fact that it's, well, a new format. But here is Knight of Heavily Bow base, Knight of Heavily Sword fort, for the grade 2, we're playing Knight of Heavily Spear Rooks. And finally, we're playing the main boss ourselves, Alpacc's ruler, Bastion. For most of you who don't know what Bastion does, I'm gonna read you what he says on his card text. So both of them have Vanguard skills, but one's continuous and one's auto. During your turn, all your grade 3 units get 2,000 power. Pretty much generic. Now for the next one is a one-turn thing. At the end of the battle that you drive check or reveal the grade 3. Discard a card from your hand and choose one of your rear guards and stand it. And it gets 10,000 power until end of turn. So that is a personal ride ability like all over. And there's 3 of them in the deck. So obviously personal rides are essential. So he is the main one that we need to have in our deck as our main starter and our main grade 3 in the deck. So that is the ride deck. And yes, they go with Tohya's color red and yellow because that's his look. Now for the main deck, it's much like, so the trigger lineup, I'm not going to really express that enough to know that almost my triggers are almost pretty much just going to be the same. So here is what it looks like to me, and you guys can think otherwise. I'm playing 4 heals, 8 crits, 3 fronts, and 1 over. So it's standard in my deck profiles much of the time. Except with Hex Orb, hers is a little bit more different, but that's just the only one. But over time, this deck will get more support, and it will eventually start getting more increased and more understanding. But in the meantime, we'll just play how the deck actually plays, and we'll just have fun with it. So, for our trigger lineup, we're playing 4 heals, which is Healer of Heavenly Staff, Arshes. So, 4 Arshes. And for 8 crits, we're playing, of course, the standard Knight of Heavenly Hammer, Surgut. Then we have 4 copies of White Fang Witch, Disma, for our last critical trigger. 3 copies of Bard of Heavenly Song, Alpacc, and her skill is the same as the new front triggers. If your opponent's Vanguard's grade 3 or greater, this unit gets plus 5k power to the shield. So there you go. And then 1 over trigger, and which is complete bullshit because that is my only trigger I pulled in the case. So that sucks. But I think that's what me and my friend pulled in our case. But I'm looking for now maybe 2 more to complete my other decks and just build it from there. So it gives a little bit of a fluidity to it. So that is the trigger lineup. Now, I'm playing a few grade 1s in this deck. I'm playing only 8 grade 1s because I feel like they're essential to the deck, despite everyone's belief about him. but this is what we do kind of need. So, I'm playing 4 copies of Painkiller Angel for the 4 right here. And her skill is a new one to me, even for that. At the end of the battle, this unit boosted, Soul Blast 1 and retire this unit and draw a card. So if you need a bigger hand, this will help you draw your cards a little faster, but only if she boosted a unit at the end of the battle. So all it requires you to do is Soul Blast 1 and retire her, and then you get your card. Simple as that. And of course, we have 4 of the complete guards, Aegismare Dragon. So 4 of those. So that's just the new complete guards is standardized, and I need another playset that's so bad so I can have all my decks up and running, but it's just gonna take a long process. But yeah, that is my grade 1s. Now we're just gonna go straight to grade 3 because that's what the main deck is about, is more grade 3s. Which is, I still think this deck's perfect for Morikawa, but Morikawa is pretty much an old man, or at least in his mid-40s in the original series, so he'd probably be dead by then. He's dead and buried. But anyway, so here's the grade 3 lineup. So, of course, we're playing 3 Bastions, because you need him for Persona Ride and his skills. We're also playing 4 copies of actual Analyst's Kokabiel, right there. We pretty much know what she does. If you have, she gets a 5k power to a shield for every grade 3 that she has on. Is it on the field? I think so. If your Vanguard is Bastion, which of course he's going to be, this unit gets plus 5,000 power for every 2 of your grade 3 units. So I assume Bastion, herself, maybe, and a few other grade 3s on your field. And then that's when the shield will grow. So, yes, she is a 4 of, just due to the fact of that skill. Next, we're playing 4 Fosados. Now, this guy reminds me of the knight from the Lord of the Rings series. But he is basically a person that cannot be affected by any card effects. This unit cannot be chosen by your opponent's card effects. Okay, good. When this unit attacks, hits, counter charge 1 and soul charge 1. So that's his skill, but I know that some people will guard his attack anyways, because they don't want him to soul charge and counter charge all his cards. So that's one way to get around it, is 4 Fosados, and due to the fact of the abilities in some deck here, they're allowed to boost. Speaking of that, we're playing 4 copies of the new card, Heavenly Bow of Edifying Guidance, Refuerzos. It's this guy right here. I'm going to show you what he looks like. Let me see if the camera gets an angle. So it's this guy right here that is the new addition in the group, and I might want to try the Festival Collection one too, but I want to try him the most. Anyways, his skill is, if you Persona Ride this turn, this unit gets boost. So he's a back row booster. Speaking of back rows, he gets a 1-turn skill. If your other unit stand by a card's effect, stand this unit. So if Bastion's skill kicks in when he's on the field, you can also stand the front row rear guard and boost him too for an extra boosting. So I think that's pretty good. So Bastion and Refuerzos, whatever his name is a good combination to add multiple attacks to it. Next, I'm playing 2 copies of Grand Heavenly Sword Alden. Yeah, there he is. So we already know what Alden kind of does to some people, for some of them who own them. So I'm not going to say much more. Anyways, next I'm playing 3 copies of Dark Strain Dragon. I still believe that he's an essential to the deck itself, due to the fact that he can counter Soul Blast 2 cards, and all your grade 3 rear guards get the power to boost. And if you have 3 or more grade 3 units, I'm sorry. So, and all of your grade 3s unit get boost until the end of turn. So that's just another power boost right then and there to add stronger attacks, and how aggressive that Tohya does in the anime, and we always see how strong he can be. Obviously, this is definitely an essential card to have in the deck. You're more than welcome to play 2 copies if you so choose to, in exchange for 2 more Aldens, or you want to play a set of full Dark Strains just in case of emergencies. But I think this is a good thing to think about. The dragon also corresponds with Fosado, because Fosado provides a counter charge 1 and soul charge 1 if his attack gets through. While as Dark Strain Dragon uses Soul Blast 2 and gives everybody a boost. So in some ways, he's providing the free soul charging, and Dark Strain is just eating it up by using a Soul Blast. Next, for the final card, we're playing 2 normal orders, and this is the Hour of Holy Judgment Cometh. So there it is right there. This card can be paid with the cost of Carablast 2, I believe. Let me double check. Yes, Carablast 2, and draw 2 cards. Choose one of your units, and it gets 5,000 power into the end of turn. So if you really wanted to, you can use this on Fosado, Bastion, Refuerzos, Alden, or Dark Strain. Just what you feel like is more comfortable with your own style. So that is why I believe this deck's kind of good. Now, as much as I really despise the whole grade 3 ideal, it is an essential deck, and that's how the mechanic works in this build. So that is what I personally believe. But anyways, you guys, that is the conclusion of the updated deck profile of, Apex Ruler Bastion with Tohya's Bastion. Yeah, I honestly cannot wait for more future sets. Now that at the end, what really shocked me about Tohya is that he was a nice guy at first, just a cocky ruler, but eventually he grew to become stronger. He grew to like Yu. Then eventually he hated Yu because he was weak. And that's where the mindset of the whole meta players are kind of going at right now, because, everybody now thinks that being weak is a sin. Just like Kanzaki said that in the G series, and it's like, ugh. This is why people you can't have nice things because of people like that. But doesn't mean we have to be like that. Eventually, Tohya did change around. In fact, in season 2 of, I think next week, or this coming up week or so, I think, he is actually going to be the new leader of Team Blackout, or the new Blackout. So, whatever happens, while Donji is now being a villain. Which makes me sad, because no offense to anybody who may think that Donji's not a little bit gay, but I think he literally broke two girls' hearts pretty much. And I know Yu's a boy, but in girl mode, I think her heart got broken. Because he turned into a villain and is working for Mirai. Thanks to Haruka. So, yeah, that's going to be kind of sad. But anyways, you guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and as always, there's a deck list in the description box down below, and tags, of course, would be there always. But I hope you guys did enjoy this video. Show some love to the channel if you so choose to, and leave a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think, what units are probably better for this deck, and please keep your comments appropriate. I've been having way too much problems with trolls trying to belittle this deck and say every single bad thing about it because it's not meta. So please be respectful, and if you don't have a nice thing to say, keep it to yourself. But yes, guys, as always, I've been your host, Siren Frost, signing out.